Commanders fan, what's good, Commanders fans? So the Washington Commanders make a signing here. Ron Rivera makes a signing of offensive lineman Trent Scott, swing tackle. Basically like another Cornelius Lucas is going to be a backup tackle. Played for the Steelers. This is what Sam 48 had to say about Trent Scott. 6'5", 320 pounds, more depth, and should compete for a backup role. He's played both tackle spots and right guard in 61 games, 20 starts over 5 years with the Chargers, Panthers, and Steelers. He did not play with the Panthers when Ron Rivera was there. He was there in 2020. So if you remember the game where Chase Young was dominating against Teddy Bridgewater, had a strip sack, a forced fumble, was one of Chase Gaines' best games. I think that was against Trent Scott when Trent Scott had to come in as a backup when one of their linemen for the Panthers got injured. So that's not great right there. But he was a 2018 undrafted free agent. Had stops with the Chargers, Panthers, and Steelers. 61 games, 20 starts, 8-1 with Pittsburgh in 2022. Ben Stanley saying he would be the fourth offensive tackle right now in theory, but no roster lock presumably right now. So he would be behind Cornelius Lucas. He would be behind, of course, Andrew Wiley, behind Leno. So basically just a swing tackle guy, a depth signing. We'll see if the Commanders do draft a offensive lineman, maybe, Paris Johnson, or I know DeJuan Jones might be gone before pick 16, but Darnell Wright, guys like that, they might draft a tackle or 16 or maybe trade back and draft a tackle. So, but in college, he had a great career. Of course, in college, was undrafted at a Grambling State. His senior season, he did not allow a single sack and tallied with 39 pancake blocks and 32 knockdowns. It was named first team all SWAC. So, he had a heck of a college career for sure. And let's look at some of his PFF numbers. So in 2022, he only played in 31 snaps, had a 70.9 grade, did play a couple special team snaps as well. In 2021, he had 335 snaps. Had a 39.6 PFF grade, which is pretty darn bad. 1 sack allowed and 3 penalties. In 2020, he had 347 snaps and had a 60.2 overall PFF grade, which is not bad at all. 2 sacks allowed, 3 penalties. In 2019, he was pretty darn awful, according to PFF. 827 snaps and 49.4 PFF grade. 8 sacks allowed in 2019, which was tied for 6th most, and had 10 penalties, which was tied for 14th most as well. 2018, he had a 60.1 PFF grade, and only 125 snaps played, and only 2 penalties. So just reading some stuff about this guy, because I never heard of him before, but there's a play where he pushed Cam Newton into the end zone. You watch some of his clips, it looks like he's a really good run blocker, very physical in the run game. So it looks like he's possibly better in the run game more than he is in pass protection. There's one play where DJ Moore with the Panthers gets a screen pass and he pancakes somebody, he pancakes a cornerback. So that's some of the stuff that you see from his college career, where he had a bunch of pancake blocks and knockdowns as well. So, but in the combine, I said he had poor upper body strength with tendencies to pop straight up and play with poor hip/knee bend and pass protection. And you get reps like this one against the Giants where, he got beat on a pass rep. So, like I said, Chase Young, I think that's the game where he dominated in that Panthers game. I think it was against Trent Scott when we lost to Teddy Bridgewater. But Chase Young had a heck of a game that game. So we'll see how this guy does. Let's see if he makes the roster or not. If they draft a tackle, then he probably won't make the roster. I'm going to see if there's any other things I can see here. Yeah, this is right up on Trent Scott. He brings versatility to the offensive line, having started 19 games and seen action in 53 games total at left tackle, and right guard since coming into the league. In 2018 as a UDFA out of Grambling State. When it comes to measurables, Scott matches what Pittsburgh looks for with their offensive line, standing at 6'5", 320 pounds. Length makes Scott an intriguing option, both inside and outside. Is one key trait. He has positional flex, which is what Ron Rivera is looking for sure. So, that's all the info I can find on Trent Scott. 2022 played 8 games, had 1 start. 2021, 14 games and 5 starts. 2020 in Carolina, 14 games and 4 starts. 2019, 16 games and 9 starts. That's when he had an awful season that year. And then 9 games and 1 start in 2018. So we'll see what we can get out of him. We'll see. Swing tackle, depth signing, and that's the kind of signings that Ron Rivera has made this whole offseason. Now, you look at the Giants, they've been pretty aggressive today. They got Jamison Crowder. I'm not shaking in my boots about that or stuff like that, but they signed Jamison Crowder, Paris Campbell. They got another tight end. They traded for Darren Waller. I feel like they signed somebody else too, man. But yeah, the other NFC East teams, they've been pretty aggressive in free agency compared to what we have done. I'm not saying just go there and get big name guys, but you look around and they've been pretty darn aggressive. Even the Cowboys have been pretty aggressive, making trades and getting other guys. I think The Stephon Gilmore trade for the Cowboys, I didn't really care about that because we saw what Terry did to Stephon Gilmore. But the Commanders, they've been kind of, they made measured moves. And I get it, the money with Dan Snyder as a new owner. So I get reasons why Ron Rivera hasn't really been super aggressive in free agency. But, you know, we'll see what he does in the draft. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think about the signing of the Commanders. Peace.